Hey everyone, I'm here from Library and Information Services at the University Health Network. I'm going to talk to you about some of the services and resources that we have that you should be taking advantage of. Now, before jumping in, I do want to introduce myself. Hey everyone, my name is Jessica and I'm an information specialist with Library and Information Services at the University Health Network. Information specialist is really just a fancy word for librarian, so I'm a health sciences librarian. And one of the major parts of my role is to support you in your research endeavors during your time at KITE. So here are my 3 essential UHN library resources for KITE trainees. My first essential resource is me, your information specialist. We actually have 2 information specialists at Toronto Rehab that support KITE. So there is myself, who supports teams and labs that are based out of either the University Center or Bickle Center. Then there's my colleague, Maureen Paykosh, who supports people who are based out of Lyndhurst or the Rumsey Centers. So depending on where your team or lab is primarily based, that'll determine who your primary contact person is in the library. Now, because of COVID, we may not always be working on site, but Maureen and I are still available for you even if we're working remotely. Here are a few examples of what we can do for you. We can help you find resources if you're having a hard time finding something that you're looking for. We can teach you to be a better searcher, to learn to use library resources more efficiently, or show you some tools that you can use to keep your readings better organized. And also, we're there for you if you're looking to just talk to someone about your research project, especially if you have questions about things that are related to information retrieval or dissemination. So this could be like building a good research question to start your lit review, like where to get started, where to search for information, or even just to figure out where to best publish your research. Your information specialist is a great contact for those types of questions. So don't be afraid to contact us. Even if we don't know the answer to something, we might be able to help you find a person or a resource that does. On a related note, if while you're at KITE, you're going to be working on something like a scoping review, a systematic review, a rapid review, or really any other type of knowledge synthesis, know that your information specialist can be a really valuable member of your knowledge synthesis team. So we have a whole webpage dedicated to how we can support KITE trainees when they're doing knowledge synthesis projects. The link is on this page here. So make sure you check that out. Which this brings me to my next essential resource, which is our website, uhnlibraries.ca. I really love this video clip here because it really speaks to how you can access our resources from absolutely anywhere, even if you're hanging out on a couch eating a granola bar. Now, we do have some physical books and journal collections that you can borrow in our physical libraries, but really the vast majority of our resources are online and available through our library website at uhnlibraries.ca. This website will work when you're working on site through the VPN, or if you're just working remotely even without VPN access. You can use, in that case, your UHN email or a TID login to get access to all of our resources. If you happen to forget the URL, that's totally okay. You can also access the library website through the research intranet. So if you're on the research intranet, you can go to the IJKL tab on the research intranet page, click on library, and then on virtual library, and you're good to go. So this is what our library website looks like. A few things I want you to take note of. The first is this UHN One search box. This search box will look at all of our library resources all at once, so both online and physical. It's a great place to get started with your research. It's kind of like Google, but only with the good stuff in it. Here you can find more information on our physical locations and all of the contact info for our team members here. So at the moment, our physical libraries are closed, but there are physical libraries at both the University Center and at Rumsey Cardiac. This is likely going to change in the future. We will be reopening at some point, but that date is still yet to be determined. But we'll make sure to let people know when we start reopening our physical locations. Next up is our workshops tab. So at the moment, you can see we're not teaching any in-person workshops, but soon on this page, you'll be seeing some online workshops appearing. This page is where you would go to register for our workshops, see what's kind of coming up. Here you can see some of the workshops that we do often teach in person. If there was a topic on this list that you wanted to learn more about, and if there's no workshop coming up, that's totally okay. You can contact your information specialist and we could set up either a one-on-one training session or even a small group session for you and your team on any of these topics. Now, one more thing that I want to show you on the website is the publication cycle. It's a curated set of resources that offer guidance on different phases of the research and publication process. So here you'll find information on things like how to avoid research waste, resources on manuscript writing, things on open access, how to avoid predatory publishers, and even how to best communicate your research. So a wealth of resources for both novice and expert researchers. I invite you to explore this page and all of the other great stuff on our website. Last up, my third and final essential resource is, now this is more of like a hot tip rather than an essential resource, but I just want to make sure that you connect to our library resources even when you're using free resources like PubMed or Google Scholar. Doing these things will enable you to access the full text of articles a lot faster. So with PubMed, for instance, I recommend going to PubMed from the library website first instead of going there just directly from Google. And that means that when you use PubMed, it won't change the website at all, but you'll get a little Find It at UHN icon beside every article. And then with Google Scholar, make sure that when you're using it, that the UHN Libraries is connected in the Library Links tab of the settings. So again, that'll check out our resources too to see if we have access to an article in our library resources in addition to it just being online. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed all of the weird stock footage of people typing on keyboards. Thank you and have a great orientation.